So the first thing I wanted to say is that I appreciate all the support that the people on my channel, bring my way. Like I can appreciate the positivity that you guys try to, put out there for me. And I don't want to make it seem as though I don't like, consider that or care about that at all. Like I'm not trying to say that that's a negative or a bad thing. So what I wanted to do with this vlog is kind of just explain my mindset a little better, because I understand how you see things. Like I can understand how you see things because the world works a certain way, and this is kind of just outside of the way things normally are. So if, like, for the average person, the average YouTube content creator, the main thing they are interested in is making content that appeals to people, that people enjoy watching. When I made the channel because I didn't have a choice. When I realized that these people had targeted me, I went on Reddit first, and that was a huge mistake. When I was on Reddit, it was more toxic than anything I had actually encountered here. So Reddit was really bad. Reddit was bad. Like, I think that the people who moderate that subreddit are actual gang stalkers, and I think a lot of gang stalkers go in there and they look for targeted people to come on there, and then they kind of just like do their little psyops with these people. So Reddit was just bad. Everything about Reddit was bad. Like, it was so bad, I'd never go on Reddit ever. I would never go on Reddit ever again. But they did have a pretty good. And look at this. Look how it's I don't even, when I make, it's like so much stuff happens out here that if I actually make a vlog, it's highly likely that while I'm making a vlog, you'll see some gang stalking activity, so I don't actually have to stop and record it. Like if I record, so much stuff happens that you will just see it anyhow. Like this, it happens so much. So back on topic. So I made this channel with the idea that maybe I could do something about it, because I felt like I was kind of, I don't know, like I should do something about it. So it made sense for me to do what I could do. And once I realized that there's nothing that I could do about it, I decided not to pay it a whole lot of mind. That's why I don't make it content anymore, because there's no point. So unlike a lot of people that you come in contact with on YouTube, or a lot of people who create content on YouTube, I'm one of the few people who created content without really wanting to, entertain people. So like when I made this, I didn't do it to entertain people. I did it because it was the right thing to do, given the circumstances. Like, what else could I do? But I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess it's good that people like what I made. I mean, that's still good. Like, I don't want to make it seem like that's a negative. Like, I don't see it as a negative. I'm just saying that my mind wasn't there, and it still isn't there, because this is just a horrible situation. So I'm not really thinking about it like that. Like, I'm like, this is just a bad situation. Maybe I should just look at it differently. Maybe, I should just really just be like, I made this really good content, and maybe I should just be happy about that. But it's really hard to be happy about that, because I keep seeing this situation as bad, and because it's just bad. Like, these people are really bad. I just don't really see the good in it. So I think that a lot of what I say is kind of just me not really seeing this as anything positive at all. So yeah, so that's why I'm just like, okay, I don't know. If I had made a channel that didn't have to do with gang stalking, I would feel differently. Like if I made content that didn't have anything to do with me being terrorized, or like, the uprising of Satan, or the end of the world, or gang members, terrorizing and killing people or whatever. Like, I don't know. Maybe I would have just been like, it's great that people like this content. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, look at this though. Like, is this normal? I mean, it's almost like people are just like, why are you upset that people are terrorizing you? This is just how people are. And they just expect me to be good with it. So like, if I recorded it and did a good job with that, I should just be happy that I did a good job with that. Because like, This is just how it is. And I'm being too sensitive. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just, not allowing people to enjoy it, and I should, because this is just life. I'm not making content every day though. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. It bothers me a lot that I had to create the channel in the first place, because I would not have created a channel normally. So the gang stalkers, their antisocial behavior forced me to do something that I normally wouldn't do. Every time I make content for this channel, I'm reminded of the fact that them being antisocial towards me is the reason why I made this channel. And if they hadn't have done that, I never would have made it. So it's like another victory for them every time I make content, every time I pay attention to them. So we have this police officer who just pulls up, and he's camping, and he's just watching me. And this is what I'm talking about. These people like the content, and because they like the content, I don't want to make it. I just don't. And every time I do it, I feel like it's a mistake. That's why I need to get out of the habit of doing it. I actually consider deleting it so I wouldn't be tempted by it. I consider this channel just such a bad thing. Regardless of whether you like it, this channel is a bad thing. You notice this cop just so happens to come out here. He probably wouldn't even have done that had I not started a vlog, and he is loving it. He's in there all possessed with demons and legions of demons, and unclean spirits is running through him. He is just loving it. And this is exactly why I absolutely do not want to make content, because they love the content. They love every time I pay attention to them. They're out there terrorizing me. And every time I pay attention to them, it's like a small victory for them. And I just don't understand why I keep making content when I know better. And I mean, if you guys like content, like the content, that's great. But the point is not to like the content. The point is to do something about this. If you're not going to do something about this and it's not going to change, then I don't want to make content anymore. So but unfortunately, what happens a lot of times is that once you start making content, you just continuously do it. So it's a cycle that has to be broken. So since I decided to post, I engage with people, and then you guys have to keep posting because you guys keep commenting, and then I post, and it just snowballs and it builds and builds and builds. But I really do need to stop making content. If you guys like it, that's great, but this is a bad situation. There's no way you're going to look at this and just be like, it's not a bad situation. It's a bad situation, so it's not about enjoyment. Even though, I guess you can look at it the same way. You look at those police videos in which, somebody's getting arrested or something, and he's acting all crazy or wild or whatever, and that's kind of entertaining, even though it's a bad situation. Maybe it's the same. Maybe it falls into the same category as that. I don't know. But to show you guys how frequently I deal with these people, deal with their antisocial nonsense, I cannot make a video without picking it up. So it surrounds me. It surrounds me. And I've made peace with it. That's why it comes across as lighthearted as it does. Because, I don't know, it's partially who I am, and it's partially just me having, just coming to terms with the fact that I can't really stop all these people, so there's no point in stressing what they do, because obviously if I can't do anything about it, I'm actually, but the look on the plus side, I'm glad I don't have to deal with them anymore. I don't deal with these people. You'd be surprised. For an introvert or introverted person, this is probably the best setup you could ever have in life. Because when you go out into society, nobody is going to ever expect you to engage with them. You can just be so introverted. So if I wanted to say something good about the situation, there's always something good in every situation. The best part of this situation is the fact that I don't have to deal with people. When I say I don't deal with people, it is so easy to not deal with people. For introverts especially. How society has expectations for you? There are no expectations for me. Like, I will go out into society and not say one word to anybody. And I could do that every day for years. And nobody is going to even question it. Like, it's just nobody, everybody is just understands. They're cool with it. They're not even trying to talk to you. So this is an introvert's dreamland. And almost for that reason, I almost don't even want to leave here. I mean, just because I'm an introverted person, this is introvert paradise. So that's a plus. That's really the only good thing I can say about this if I was to be positive. That's the biggest plus. I do not speak to these people at all. I mean, we just live around each other like different species, like in the jungles of Africa. You know how you'll have like the monkeys and the big cats, and they just like exist with each other, but they don't deal with each other. It'll be more like that. Like we live in the same jungle, but we're different species, and we just don't really have a reason to deal with each other other than just like they just try to annoy me or something. Like the monkeys, you know, don't like the big cats, and they'll just kind of like try to annoy them, but there's no connecting there or anything. Like they don't expect me to connect to them with them, and that's the biggest plus. Anyhow, so I want this to be my last video for a couple of months, so hopefully I can make that happen, and hopefully you guys understand. And it's not personal against you guys, but I don't really want to make content. And if you're doubting me, or if you're wondering whether I'm just, why I would think that, you see this police officer, he is the perfect example of why I don't want to make content anymore. Look at him. I mean, look at this guy. He's out there enjoying it. Like, he is getting off on it. Every time, especially when I make vlogs, they always respond. Like, they want to encourage me to do that. So there you go. Anyhow, with that said, let me go ahead and close now.